Hello, this is Leah Loves Yarn, and I am coming on today because I want to talk about Dollar Tree yarn. I've gone to Dollar Tree for years, but over the last year, Dollar Tree has decided to carry yarn. And I just thought it was something, once in a while I would find. But suddenly it was flooded with yarn. And there's a Dollar Tree in like every single town, sometimes twice or three times in one town, depending on how big your town is, but there's usually always a Dollar Tree. And so I started, at first I was finding first I was finding like Premier yarn where it was um, like actual Premier yarn. But then they started coming out with this Premier yarn, and it was like their own brand. And it's pretty soft. It's soft, and it crochets and washes really nice. And this is the Premier yarn that you usually see, like from Joann Fabrics, but then they got this generic labeling that still says Premier. And then I discovered this. This is flowers. I found this shopping with my mom, and we were like, what is this? All of a sudden, I think we found this one first, and then I started circling every Dollar Tree I could find, and I found all these colors, except for one. There was a purple one that I gave to my mom's best friend because she was making something, and so I gave it to her because I wasn't crazy about the purple one. But these these are so interesting because they have these little tiny, I don't know if you can see, they're like little tiny specks, and they're so cute. They make up, so I started to think about what do I want to do with this yarn, because you can't have, I'm a person that always thinks that if you have a busy yarn, you need a plain pattern. And if you have a plain yarn, just one solid color, then you need a busier pattern. But busy patterns and busy yarn don't, busy patterns and busy yarn don't really go together. It's like one takes away from the other. So I had put together this. This is just a half double crochet. And I started making these large squares. I don't know, there's like 60, I counted 64 out. I don't know why I chose 64, because I was thinking of making a pillow first. Then I decided, after doing some of these squares, and I don't know if you could see, it's really kind of cool how it kind of turns out. So I started making these squares. Then I started putting this border around it, and I think I'm going to connect these squares. And yeah, and that one turned out really good. They all turned out really great. Now I'm not sure how this is going to wash because I haven't finished this yet, but this was like fantastic to find, because somebody is really going to love when I give this to them. But yeah, so Dollar Tree is just really great at finding yarn. I found these the other day. I walked up, and I go there like almost every day because every day I work, because it's like right next door to my job. So I'm in retail, so there's always like, one right next door to it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to make with these. I'm probably going to mix them with plain colors and design something on them. But yeah, these were $1. So I got like, when they first started carrying yarn, I got a good supply of these. But when they first started carrying yarn, I got like a bunch of different colors of these. There was like green, yellow, cream colored, it's like a linen color, and then other stuff. And then I discovered they had a chunky yarn. So I bought, probably close to $300 of Dollar Tree yarn. But, and granted, it's only, this one's only 82 yards. The chunky, this one is 131. And this one is 111. So granted, you're not getting a, 400, 300 yarn, but it's $1, So my closet, my pantry of yarn is literally just a whole column of these are there. And I also, like, lots of people went online and said that they didn't like this Just Cotton, because this, I think, was the first one that I discovered, was the Just Cotton Premier Yarn. I think that's the first one I did. Now this is 104, and they're all 4 worsted weight except for that one. That one's 5. But now a lot of people said they didn't like this because these, the 4-ply would fall apart as you were doing it. But you know what? I make the cotton, and I do oven, like washcloths. I double the thickness because I like really thick washcloths for the kitchen area, and they're awesome for wiping countertops down and stuff like that. And so I really liked it, and I bought a ton of these. But a lot of people went online saying they didn't like them, and I don't know, I bought a bunch, and they're good for what I use them for. I mean, granted, they're not the highest quality, but again, it's $1. So, but yeah, so this is like the gem of the year, because it just, when it came out with these little specks of different colors, it blew my mind. So instantly I had to start crocheting something with it. The minute I get something, I just want to start something. So, and since I'm on here and I have this right next to me, this whole thing right here, this is a poncho. My niece said, "Would you make something for me?" And I said, "Sure, what do you want?" And she said she wanted a poncho. So this whole thing is made with Dollar Tree yarn, and it turned out really great, and I'm positive it's gonna wash great. Now this line right here is not Dollar Tree. I just thought this was kind of cool to throw something different in there. But now the kicker here, and I haven't cut anything. They still got strands, and there's always 10 million cat hairs on it because I have a couple cats. But this is a doggy sweater that I made. So she's going to have a little poncho to match her little Shih Tzu dog. So her and a Shih Tzu are going to have matching ponchos. She's just going to absolutely love it. She doesn't know that I'm doing this yet, so she's going to probably think it's pretty fabulous. But again, another cat hair. But anyway, so all this was made with Dollar Tree yarn, and it's just really, I don't know, man. I'm pretty impressed with the Dollar Tree yarn, and I have enough of it so that it's going to last me a long time. So thank you for watching, and subscribe if you like my videos. Thank you.